actually analyze this kind of interaction. And what is the system I'm trying to get? I am changing the nuclear state altogether from ground state to excited state. For an example, iron 57 half to 3 half. I'm changing it. And there I'm trying to find how the electrons are changing around it. If there is, just imagine, if there is a interaction between these two states. For an example, it is iron 57 Shammodev, not 56. Over there, if it is a ground state, is I equal to half, and excited state is I equal to 3 half. Now imagine two conditions. First condition is that there is an electron environment around it which actually changes once I am going from the ground state to the excited state. If I see this change, what I can say about it? That the electron is interacting strongly with the nucleus and I can monitor the change, right? And the other one I can have that there is an electron distribution around my nucleus and it is remaining as it is. It doesn't matter what is my nuclear state is. So there I can say there is no interaction, and over here I can say there is an interaction. So that is the difference I'm trying to find, whether this electron density over here is interacting with my nuclear state or not. And to find out what I'm doing, I'm exciting it. I'm exciting it with a gamma ray to the excited state and finding out if that is affecting the electronic distribution around. And that is what I'm going to catch. Is it a little bit more clear now what I'm trying to do? So if I don't see any change, so that I can say the electron and nucleus is not much interacting, so there's not much change. So then there is no point of doing Mossberg spectroscopy. But what actually happens over there, what you have drawn, it actually affects. The electronic state actually get distorted as I'm changing the nuclear state, and that actually show the effect over there. And due to this change, this electronic distribution change, the electronic state change, the interaction between them is affected. So depending on that, what is around the nucleus, this interaction will be different, and that will affect the energy of this excited state or the ground state. Very similarly, if you take an electron spin of half, if you put a copper with a 3/2 spin versus say a platinum 1/2 spin, are they going to split in the same way? That is not. But I can argue, but they are the same unpaired electron, one unpaired electron. But they are behaving differently when it is a copper versus when it is a platinum. Why? Because the nucleus is different. That's why it is interacting differently. On the other way, I can say on this way also, because the electronic environment is different, keeping the same nuclei, I will also see a difference. So that is what I'm going to get through the Mossberg spectroscopy. Is it getting a little bit clear now what I'm doing? Okay, so now the problem over there is this hyperfine interaction that we are talking about is very weak interaction. Okay, hyperfine interaction is actually a very weak interaction. So what will be the effect of that? The effect will be the energy gap that will be created due to this interaction will be very small. So it will be very tough to get that particular resolution to even catch or monitor that much of difference. Okay, why? You can think about that very easily. The effect of the electron on the nucleus, it will be a very minimal amount of energy. Whereas the energy state I'm changing between the ground state to the excited state, it is happening in the region of gamma ray. And the electron and the nuclear spin interaction, that is happening in much more lower energy. So the resolution is very small. It is kind of finding a speck of a grain on an elephant. Okay, there is an elephant and there's a very little speck of grain on its back. You are trying to find it out. It's very tough to see because the resolution you need is very small. So that is one of the drawback of trying to find this electron nucleus interaction. That is number one. Second one, the problem I can face is known as recoil. So what is recoil? So let me explain with this. Say You
Can you
have,
repeat problem one? There was network problem.
okay, okay. To resolve the network problem, I'll go through the problem one more time. The problem one is the actually magnitude of the interaction between the nucleus and electron. This hyperfine interaction is actually pretty weak. Okay, the actually energy difference you are creating on the nuclear state due to this electronic state change is actually pretty small. How small? With respect to the change of the ground state to the excited state of the nuclear state, it is happening in the region of gamma ray. And the energy state it is affecting, it is very small. It is so small, it is like 10 to the power 13, 10 to the power 14, that scale, that much of change. So that's why we, as we are just discussing, to give you a idea, it is kind of finding a grain, a speck of grain on the back of an elephant. That much of difference we are having. Or you can say that if I am measuring the distance between from here to sun, is a huge distance between the sun and earth over here. And if we put a just a single page, a paper page over there, the paper page, what is the actual diameter of that? So, or the breadth of that? Say it is in the region of millimeter. And what is the difference between from sun to here? It is in 10 to the power some x kilometer. That particular order of difference is there to finding the energy gap created by this electron nuclear interaction or hyperfine interaction with respect to the actual energy state I am actually difference I am creating by this gamma. Okay, so that is why with this weak interaction, the resolution is pretty small. So in the actual state interaction, actual absorbance, even if the difference is happening, it is very tough to get what is the actual changes happening. Okay, so that is one of the problem of to find out the hyperfine interaction through this MOSFET spectroscope. Is it clear now?
Professor, are you discussing
Yeah.
the plus half to minus half transition here? Or
No, it is not the plus up to minus up. It is half to 3 up. Plus up to minus up is the nuclear spin state. Over here, I'm changing the nuclear state. Nuclear spin state happens in the radio frequency region. Okay, I'm not changing the nuclear state over there at all. Half to half. 3 half remains 3 half. Okay. Over there, the interaction you can see very nicely because that is the region of the energy where the interaction happens. So in the NMR or EPR, you can see the splitting very nicely because that resolution matches pretty nicely because the energy gap is pretty small. But over here, when I'm doing the state change of the nucleus, I'm changing from half to 3 half. It is not just plus up to minus up. Plus up minus up happens only when you create the magnetic field and just changing between them. Okay. Does it answer your question, Harsha?
So here this hyperfine is between plus half to plus half of that 3/2, right?
Again, you're missing the point. Hyperfine splitting is interaction between the electron and the nucleus. The nucleus is half, doesn't matter plus up or minus up. I didn't put the magnetic field here. Unless you put a magnetic field, can you differentiate between plus up and minus up?
No, sir.
No, you cannot do that. So hyperfine splitting means in this scenario is the interaction between the nuclear spin and electronic spin. Electronic spin and nuclear spin doesn't, I'm not meaning plus up or minus up, I'm meaning only half. There is a spin. Okay. That nucleus and that electron, if it is interacting between them, is half and half interaction that I'm talking about. It is not plus up, plus up, plus up, minus up, not those interactions. For that, I have to create a magnetic field first. Okay, and that is the spin flipping is happening. Over there, I'm changing the overall state of the nucleus.
So, sir, here like we are considering total electronic spin. And
yes, and total nuclear spin. Yes.
Okay, now.
Does it make sense now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there are two different ways it can interact. And when I say nucleus and electron is interacting, what are the interactions possible? One is charge interaction. One is positive, one is negative. They will be interacting. The other one is spin interaction. Both of them have spin, so they will interact. So those two interactions come together and affect each other, and that is going to change my state, and that is the state I'm trying to find. Okay. So this electronic state. When you talk about electronic state, what are the things that can affect it? The electron dipole or the magnetic dipole, right? That means electric field or magnetic field can affect my electronic state. Similarly, my nuclear state can also get affected by magnetic field and electron field. And the electron field is coming because of the charge of the electron. And the magnetic field is coming because of the spin of the electron. Does it make sense now?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Sir, in
yes.
problem 1, you are saying that the magnitude of energy change that is here when we are changing the electronic state, that is very, very small energy change. And
Yes.
because of that small change, we are getting a very big energy change that is from
No.
nuclear states, in the nuclear state.
No, what I'm saying, so said I am changing this change. So let me draw that one more time that will to clarify you. Okay. So what I'm saying that over here, say I am changing two states. Okay. So there are two iron 57 system. One is a ground state of half. One is a excited state of I equal to 3/2. I should have written I equal to 3/2 and I equal to half over there. And over there, this energy is actually releasing as a gamma ray coming from a excited state iron 57. And this gamma ray is getting absorbed in a different iron 57, which is an absorber. So this is the source and this is an absorber. So now say this ground state is again I half and this ground state is again I equal to 3/2. Now say everything is same. This iron 57, this iron 57 exactly same. Outside the electronic environment is exactly same. So what will happen? This will go over there and you will see a very nice resonance, right? Now what I'm saying, there is an electron density around it. And due to that, the ground state changing over here, excited state change over here. So now the energy gap, is it going to be the same? It is not same, right? The energy gap over here, what I'm seeing, and the energy gap of the source and absorber, is it going to be the same? It is not. So it is not going to resonate. So I have to create some differences so that it is going to get absorbed. And this much change, can I see that as an absorbance spectroscopy? For an example, this absorbance in the source will look like this. And now this difference over here, what I'm seeing due to the change of this electronic state, I'm seeing say like this. So I can distinguish there when this difference is good enough so that I can see it with respect to the original spectra. That is called the resolution, right? That the difference I'm seeing because of this interaction is good enough so that I can actually recognize that it is actually shifted a little bit in the energy scale. But what happened in reality, this shift that you are seeing delta E versus this energy that you are seeing over here, it is in the region of 10 to the power minus 13 or so. So imagine that I am trying to find out 1 unit out of 10 to the power 13 units. So how small difference it is actually creating. So that's why it is very hard to find out what is the change happening in the background of this nuclear state change. Does it answer your question, Ghazal?
Yes, sir.
So the actual difference it is creating over there due to the electronic nuclear state interaction or hyperfine interaction, it is way too small compared to the actual energy difference between the excited state and the ground state of the nuclear state. Because that is the background I'm running. And over there, I'm trying to find out how different it is. And because the energy gap is so small, the change in the energy gap is so small, it is very tough to understand that whether it is actually occurring or not. Just imagine that over there in NMR, I can see a difference in the ppm level. And over there, I can see the difference. Over there, it is ppm of ppm level, even less than that. ppm is 10 to the power minus 6. Over there, I'm 10 to the power minus 13. So very little change I am trying to find out over there. So just imagine that I am doing an absorbance spectra. Say it is happening in the region of say 15,000 electron volt unit it is happening. And the energy gap I'm getting It is 10 to the power minus 13 times of this. So just imagine how small it is. It is 15 into 10 to the power minus 10 electron volt is the actual difference you are seeing. Can you see this difference?